so good. It really doesn't get much better than this.
It's a hard thing to know that your soul will stay hollow. Even if I know that nothing lasts forever, it's not easy to let go.
Morning everybody, it's great to see you all again. Oh wow. So this morning I'm on the lookout for some bluebells. I think I've found some. I'm in the Winchester Valley in the Lake District National Park in England, and the bluebells are just what typifies spring in England, and they are amazing. And this week my vlog is going to be about my journey in photographing these amazing flowers. I don't do a lot of flower photography, I always do more big vista. So I'm going to do some close-ups, some intimate landscapes. I'm also going to do some wider shots in woodland, but it's not going to be one location. I'm going to carry on doing the vlog through this week and go to as many different locations as I can to capture the amazing beauty which is the bluebell in the English woodlands. I couldn't have started with a better location.
Can you love me again? Can things ever be the same? All I do is
So you would think, wouldn't you, with all these amazing bluebells and the stunning wood and the amazing light, that it'd be really easy to take a fantastic shot. But actually, it's quite difficult, because what you've got is this really ordered carpet of blue on the forest floor. But then lots of bright spots and twigs and trees that just don't sort of fit and sort of are quite harsh against it. So ideally what we're trying to do is simplify the scene as much as possible, because what's going to look really good is just something that's super simple, and using this carpet of blue as a backdrop, maybe even out of focus, with one bluebell or two or a bunch of bluebells in the foreground. And that's what I'm looking for today. Okay, so one thing that's really important when photographing woodland is the avoidance of harsh light. As you can see now behind me, there's a lot of shadows, and those shadows just get accentuated when you move that image from 3D into 2D. So it's really important to get here quite early and then just catch some of the light coming on some of the bluebells. So next time I come back, I'm going to come back earlier. I was here about 6 a.m, so probably about 40 minutes after sunrise, and I think I need to be a little bit earlier. So when I come back, not to this woods but to a different wood, so I'm going to be there a little bit sooner, or stay late and wait for the light to die down. But light changes so rapidly, it's so difficult to get just perfect conditions. So I think it's time to pack up now, head back, have a look at these images, and then I've got a whole week. It's only Sunday morning. In fact, this week's vlog's not even gone out, never mind next week's, which will be this week's to the people that are watching this now. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay.
yes, there he goes. There he goes.
Okay, so I'm now in Macclesfield Forest, and it's Monday. So I'm going back to a location that I've shot before in this video here. I have no hands, so I'll point to it with my tripod. And I'm fairly sure there's going to be bluebells, because I've seen I've seen the plants, but I'm not 100% sure. So it's going to be a big reveal of whether they're actually there or not. Now, last time I came here, which was probably about 3 days ago, there was one bluebell. So I'm really hoping there's going to be slightly more than one bluebell. And I'm hoping there's going to be a blanket of them, but actually just looking over there, it doesn't look like there's any. Oh no. So it's 5:30 a.m. I wanted to get up because if you just look over here, the light just appears and it sort of shines really nicely into this sort of valley here. And if there is bluebells here, it'll look fantastic. But we might have to come back a little bit later in the week when it's been warm again for a few more days, because I don't think there is any. But I'll keep walking a bit further down here and see what we can see. So I'll just turn my camera around. No bluebells. Okay. Plan B. After my initial disappointment thinking there was no bluebells, there actually are some bluebells, but they're just starting to come out. I'm wondering whether when the sunlight comes on them, whether they're going to develop a little bit more. This is one of my favourite parts of the forest, and just listening to the birds. There's geese, I've heard a woodpecker. It's just so fantastic. Just listen. So good. It really doesn't get much better than this. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got my Nikon D810 with my 70-200 lens on. I'm going to photograph this flower here. Now I'm actually in my garden, and it just proves that just a few yards away from your house you can get some amazing shots. So I've been photographing these bluebells in woodland, but I found this one bluebell in amongst these grasses here, and I think it's going to make a really nice composition. Now at the moment it's around about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's not perfect light, but when the sun goes behind a cloud, which it's about to do, then we're going to get nice diffuse light, which is going to be like a big softbox on the scene, and I think I'm going to be able to get something quite special. I'm going to shoot with my 70-200 at 200mm on f3.5, and then I'm going to shoot with my macro lens as well, and we'll have a look at both of them. Okay, the sun might be going in a minute, so I just need to get ready. I'm going to go a little bit further back. I'm going to hand hold it because I'm going to be on probably about 1,000th of a second. I'm on ISO 500, and I find hand holding shots like this pretty good. I think ideally you put it on a tripod, but I just want to move around and try different things as I'm messing around with the shot. Now I put pebbles inside because she's already crumpled 2 bluebells that I wanted to take shots of. So she's a bad girl and I've taken her away. Okay, so let's move back a little bit. So I'm going to have to probably go back to here for the minimum focusing distance of this lens. I've got VR on, and I'm focusing on the eye of the flower. Now this one's going to be, so that one's going to be in sunlight. It still looks pretty good because we've got a really nice bottom of the frame that leads your eye through into the flower, and then past the flower it's really diffuse and some nice soft focus. So we've got a big bank of cloud coming over now. Whilst I'm waiting for that, cows go past the end of my garden every day for milking, and they've all just walked past, so hopefully you didn't hear too much mooing. But here, look, here they are again. I'll show you them now. So these are quite inquisitive cows and they like looking at what's going on. Okay, that's it. The clouds come out now, so I'm just going to take a couple more. Oh, that's so much nicer now. Just move a bit further back. Oh, that's brilliant. So it's so much nicer. The light's really diffuse now. It's like a big softbox. It looks amazing.
Yes, there he goes. I know I did him wrong. Now something is broken inside me. I got what I gave, I am worthy.
Okay, it's Thursday now, and this is the third location, fairly close to where I live, that I found some bluebells. You can see them all around me, and it looks really great here. This is probably the best location. So what I'm looking for is sort of wide open expanses where I can get some interest, so something that's just going to be interested in the frame, and a contrast between the bluebells that are blue and the green sort of spring leaves like this one over here. And this looks really good. Now at the moment you can see that we've got lots of contrast with the sun coming through. It's so difficult to take the sort of carpet of flowers now. In fact, the sun's just gone in and it makes such a big difference. So what I'm looking for is either shade, but in sort of mid-afternoon, where I get lots of reflected light down on the blanket of bluebells on the floor, and that even light makes it much easier to take a good shot. Or I'm going to come back in the evening and take some low light where I shoot into the light and I get the backlight on the bluebells. So there's two ways two lighting ways really. You can have flat light or really strong morning or evening light. This looks fantastic, really fantastic. So I'm going to take just a few tested shots here. I'm also going to trial some things with my macro lens as well.
There we go. Just there we go. Yes, there we go.
Okay, it's Friday morning now, so I'm getting close to having to edit this actual video. And this is probably the 5th wood that I've been to. And I've come out for sunrise. There's no sunrise, which is not a big problem because the light's still quite soft, and I quite like that, but I'm not going to be able to get that shot that I wanted with sort of the sort of golden sun coming through the bluebells. But that's what landscape's about. You can't always get what you want, but I've got to make the best of what I have got. I found some good bluebells here. I'm going to go to another wood as well on my way back home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up here, and what I'm trying to do is find a really simple foreground. I always say this, simple foreground, repeating patterns of bluebells, and then find some interest in the black background. I've got this really great contrast between the bluebells and the green spring leaves, and it's all about simplicity of shot. So we're going to have a look around, set something up, see what we can get.
Can you love me again? Can things ever be the same?
Oh, this is proving a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So I'm really struggling to find a great composition. This tree, which you can probably just see at the bottom of the frame, I thought was quite good, and I'm probably going to take a shot, but the light now is just not playing ball really, and we've gone from quite nice soft light to either harsh light or just flat light. And yeah, I just need something in the sky just to pick up the leaves, just have some backlighting on the leaves, or just pick up the side of the trees to give some sort of dimension to the shot. So it is difficult, it's really difficult, and I think I'm probably going to go and get my breakfast. Now it's Friday morning now, I've got a workshop this afternoon, I'm going to edit the whole video, I'm going to try and shoot again on Saturday morning, and hopefully I can get the shot that I'm looking for, which is the golden sunlight through the bluebells. I found a good location, I just need the light now. And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, then it doesn't matter. I've still had great fun this week taking the bluebells. So finally, after 4 sunrises, I've got fog and the perfect conditions for taking these beautiful bluebell woodlands.
It's a lonely road to travel on. It's a heavy loss to be alone. Now I finally think I found someone to guide